Before I say that, tell me, how is life today? Like, for real, like, how's life today, man? You're 8.5 years clean, you know, you're in a fucking program.
It could be better, right? Like, I recently had my life turned upside down, right? And I'm still trying to pick up the pieces of that, and you know, I'm living 1 minute at a time because I don't know where I belong in this world, right? Because I lost my son a little under a year ago. September will be 12 months.
You got my condolences, man. You already know that, though.
Yeah, right? And it's been one hell of a ride since he was gone, right? And even before that, he was going through chemo. He died from cancer, and like I will never be right again, right? Mm-hmm. I will forever have a hole in my heart that's not gonna go nowhere, right? And
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Truth Addiction. This is the channel that deals with the disease of addiction and all the ways it manifests itself. I am a recovering addict. My name is Brian. I suffer from a disease which is incurable, progressive, and sometimes fatal. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. I'm sitting here with my man Joe. Let me get a pound. Joe, what's going on, man?
I'm here. What's up, big guy?
Not much, man. How's your day so far?
It feels like Monday, but like...
Yeah, I hate that when you feel like you're a day behind in the week.
Yes.
It fucking sucks, dude. Other than that, man, shit's good. It's a nice day, at least.
Making money.
You know,
staying clean.
Yeah. All right, so here's the deal, man. I have some questions here. I throw them out there. People answer them because me and then people out there like to hear what you got to say to these questions, man. All right. So, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been clean, man?
I'm Joey. I'm an addict. My clean date is April 2nd, 2015. Roughly about 8.5 years.
So you've been clean 8.5 years?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That gets a clap on this channel.
Thank you.
That's a long fucking time. I just like to remind everybody I interview. You remember how hard it was to get 1 day clean, man? That fucking struggle?
It took me about 2 years to finally get like the courage to stay clean.
It's a lot, man. It's like, especially near the end when I was using, it's like every day I wanted to stop, but I just couldn't. My brain was just like, no, do it. You know what I mean? It's wild. And I guess that's what makes it a disease.
Oh, it was horrible. Like I got to a point where like I was tired of getting a couple days and then coming back, getting a couple days and then coming back, right?
Yeah.
And I had to man up and do it and not look back.
Yeah.
And so far for 8.5 years.
So far so good, man. Well, I know why you're still clean, but we'll get into that. Anyway, so tell us where you were born, where you were raised, and a little bit about your early childhood.
All right, so I was born in, actually right down the street in Bristol, PA, right? The hospital is no longer there. I forget the name of it because it was gone before I even remember, right? Yeah. But born in Bristol, raised in Levittown. I have roots here, right? In this area, and it's been a long 39 years, right? Because that's how old I am, right? And
well, let's keep it early childhood for right now. So what's life like? Like, you know, like 5 years old, 10, like around there. You got brothers and sisters?
I got 2 half sisters, and early childhood was rough, man. I grew up with using addicts, right? And
Mom and dad?
Mom and dad, right? And like I remember bits and pieces of it. I remember being in the system. I remember mom and dad fighting a lot. Always changing schools, always changing apartments. Like
we have similar childhoods. My mom was an addict too, and I've been to tons of schools too. I just wanted to relate with you real quick on that. You can keep going.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just remember I didn't make too many like childhood friends that were close to me until my dad actually got clean, right?
Right.
But in my early childhood, like I was all over Levittown, like apartments, you know, studios.
You
like,
moved a lot of different places too?
It seems like every year I moved, right?
Yeah, me too, dude.
And I didn't stay more than 2 years at an elementary school, right?
I lived in South Philly, right? But I lived in like 8 different places. It was so goofy. My mom ended up getting Section 8, which pays your rent. And once she got that, it was, you know how most people be like, let's do something new to the house. Like, it feels old in here. Let's give it a paint job. My mom, like, every 2 years, she would just be like, let's just move. And we would fucking move every 2 years, like 5 blocks from where we were. It was the goofiest shit ever, dude. So I know what that's like, fucking moving around a lot. So, early on, drug-fueled environment, parents getting it in.
Yes.
I know exactly what that's like. All right, so I just like to point that out because I also interviewed people that come from great childhoods with no drugs, but yet somehow we've ended up in the same place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that speaks to me on that it is a disease. You know what I mean? It's not about willpower or if you were raised in the slums or if you're in a fucking mansion. You know what I mean? It's a fucking disease. So, all right, let's fast forward a little bit. What high school did you go to?
Harry S. Truman.
That's right around the corner. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was in a couple behavior schools, right? Because like mom died when I was 11.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. She actually died from a direct result of this disease, right? She didn't overdose or anything. She actually she was using needles, sharing them, and she contracted HIV/AIDS. And
how long ago was this? My math's not really good.
She passed away in 1995.
So so around then is when they're trying to like figure out how to even treat the shit and all that.
Right. It was still.
It ain't like today.
It was still new to the game.
Right.
It was running rampant, and especially in Levittown, a lot of people contracted it, and like I watched her quality of life get sucked out of her for 3 years, and it sucks, man. Like,
that's a devastating thing, bro. That does suck. So you are aware that it was a disease of addiction that took her life, basically, in an indirect, direct way.
I am now. There was a lot of years where I...
That's what I'm saying. You are now, but then, right?
I resented her.
You just resent, right? We'll get into that. Same thing to me, dude. I hated my fucking mom, bro. Matter of fact, I wasn't clean yet when my mom died. Like, which I'm gonna clean in 6 years. She's probably been dead now for 7, something like that. Until the day she died, I hated my mom because I just, you know. I now know that she was sick, that she had a disease, and the things that were happening in my household was directly because of that. And then you got the fact that I became her. You know what I mean? And fuck my kids' lives up, man, in my active addiction. You know, it was horrible shit. So Did you graduate, man?
I did graduate.
You did?
By the skin of my teeth.
Okay, but you still graduated.
I got a high school diploma.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I had to go back and get a GED, so you did one better than me. So, what's your teenage years like? Did you play any sports? Did you have like hobbies or anything like that?
I played baseball until I was about 13, and then, you know, I met the love of my life, and that was weed.
So 13, you meet the love of your life. Yeah.
Right.
Mary Jane was a bad bitch.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So that's when you started using? 13?
At 13 years old, man, I was going ham and like you know, drinking 40s and like I was unaccompanied for a lot of years because my mom died and my dad worked a lot, so
right.
you know, I ran the streets back in our day, right? We didn't have Wi-Fi or
nope
or anything, so our entertainment was outside hanging out with the friends, right?
Yeah.
Riding bikes, being up to no good, right? So like, you know, we did what fucking boys did.
Do you remember how that felt? First time you put that in you? Like, do you remember that? Was it like I guess that was cool, or was it a moment for you like, this is fucking awesome?
It took me out of myself.
Okay. Did you know that then? Or this is what you've learned that now?
It took me to a place where I wanted to be.
Right.
At the time, where I had pain from losing my mother, from you know, never making any like real friends, right? So I met a couple kids in my neighborhood when my dad got clean, right? Because he's been clean for a long time, and I met a small group of dudes that were like solid, and I thought they were family, right, at the time, but they weren't. You know,
right.
We were just bad kids that needed an outlet. And
so, do you think you think the first time you think that was a peer pressure thing?
Yeah.
Me too.
I wanted to smoke.
So. Yeah.
We heard from a friend like reefer was the end all be all, and I loved it first time.
I got, for myself at least, I got this theory, whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel like the first one I used was against my own will. Like, I didn't even want to do the first one. It was just because they were doing it. It was because I just wanted to, like you said, I just wanted to be somebody else, somewhere else. And it was kind of like, and how I know that is, what I'm saying is, like, I knew from being in a drug-fueled environment that drugs were fucked up. So I knew what I was, you know what I mean? That, like, this probably isn't going to be good, but I still did it. So that's why I say it was peer pressure for me. And you're right, though. You thought these dudes were good then. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy how we put people on pedestals that shouldn't even be on pedestals, you know what I mean? Or we, it's a wild thing. And it's all because of the addiction, of the disease. We just, at that point, we didn't know it. We don't know how our brains, I don't think, are working at that young of an age. We don't understand we have a disease yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that'll lead me to my next shit. Looking back at it, right? Do you see signs? Because now, like, you've been clean for a while. We've worked the program. We know what this disease is, right? We've done some steps. Looking back at it, before that first use, do you see signs of the disease of addiction? Like in actions, behaviors, and shit, man?
Yeah.
Explain that a little bit.
I was always in fantasy land, right? And I always wanted to be outside of myself. I always wanted to be somebody I wasn't, right? And we all do. We're all guilty of that. And like I sci-fi, you know, movies, shows, anything to take me out of the situation I was in at the moment made me feel good, right? I eventually
You do a lot of people pleasing?
always.
Yeah, that's the main thing for me. It's like, I gotta get in where I fit in. Any way I can make you like me, like I had to do it. I don't know, it's just real goofy shit. But a lot of the behaviors and actions that we have that come to fruition in our active addiction, like actually using, I think they're there before we start using. They might be there, dude. You know, we could have been born with it. Maybe we acquired it at a young age. But at some point, it had to happen early on, as far as I could see, man. Do you remember getting any kind of like stealing shit or anything like that? Huh?
Always.
Yeah.
I got, anything that you say, you know, an addict did, I did. Like I actually got caught stealing radios out of cars.
And this is before you're getting high.
No, this was.
No, I'm talking about before you're getting high. Were you doing any kind of stealing? Candy and shit? Yeah.
You know, yeah. Listen, I snuck around with girls at a young age. Like I knew what sex was. Anything that made me outside of myself, right? Like I was a big pyro, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna like I lit dumpsters on fire. I was Dennis the Menace times 10.
Right.
Like I was. I have a brother that I threw a wad of mud in his dryer.
Damn.
You
That's
know,
an ass whooping. Did he whoop that ass? Did he try to whoop
no,
that?
he didn't know it was me until like 10 years later. But
Oh shit! All right, that's fucked up, dude.
yeah.
But so anyway, the behaviors, the actions, they're there. They just intensify with the drug use, right? It's like the same shit, but worse, right? So take us back to when you're in your active addiction. So you say you used the first time you're 13, right?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. So you got 8.5 years clean now. So take us from 13 up until 8.5 years ago. Break down that progression of the drug use and everything.
So yeah, I mean, I was a pothead in high school, right? I love drinking. I love the recreational stuff, right? And I always had it in the back of my head, like, I knew my mom was a heroin addict, right? So, like, maybe, like, don't do the hard stuff, just recreational shit to take you out of it, right? A lot of psychedelics, a lot of fucking party drugs, ecstasy. And, like, I graduated high school, right? And I remember taking my first Vicodin, right? And I felt like I was Superman.
Yeah. Feels amazing.
I was ready to talk to girls. I was ready to take over the world. Like anything I could do 10 times better on you know.
And the cool thing about Vikes was you could be all like uppity up, and then once you just chilled, you could dip on them.
Yeah.
It was a great dynamic. Listen, there's no doubt, man. Drugs felt good, bro. Especially at first. You know, when it's kind of like fun and shit. But I know that feeling. You feel like it's that like that moment, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking great. I need more of this. So you take Vikes. Where do you go from there?
I snorting coke.
Okay.
Fucking mushroom. Like I did everything except for stick a needle in my arm.
Me too. I never actually shot up.
Yeah, I thought that was my justification for being a good addict. As long as I didn't stick a needle in my arm, I thought I was okay, right? And really I wasn't, because like I wasn't taking care of myself. I kept putting myself in toxic situations, toxic relationships, jail. Like I did a lot of, you know, shit to put myself in jail, like almost get my kids taken, like had some kids while in active addiction, like thinking it was gonna save me, right? And it didn't.
You make great points. A lot of people, see, I did lose my kids in active addiction. Like, they fucking motherfuckers called DHS on me, bro. You know what? I deserved it. At that point, I was mad and salty. You know, it got to where they were going to go in this system. My sister stepped in. And, you know, even though I've been clean for a little over 6 years, that situation's still fucked up. Like, it's still, you know, like, and it doesn't help, I don't think, any of that. Like, I was clean for a long time before. And then I left the program because I thought I was normal.
Right.
And then relapsed. So I guess when they look at it like, yeah, who cares you have 6 years? You had 9 years before and you still used. Right. So it's kind of like I'm still dealing with that. I just kind of put that in the higher power's hands. And it'll reveal itself when the time comes, you know, to have them back in my life at some point. Hopefully, you know, it'll happen. But today I just got to keep, you know, moving on with it. But you hit on another point, because it seems to go hand in hand with fucking recovering addicts or addicts in general, especially using, and that's the fucking toxic relationships, dude. I've been addicted to people, to females, let's put it that way, just as much as I have a fucking bag of dope, dude. And very similar in the danger, you know, the danger that could come from it, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that is a good point you make. We look for like verification or something in other people.
Right? 100%.
Talk about that, man.
We take our feelings and we project them on people to make ourselves feel better, right? Because love and affection sends dopamine to your brain cells, right?
That's right.
And you
and sex.
Well, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm trying to keep it PG-13.
Nah,
like,
we're nasty here. We're nasty on this channel. We don't give a fuck on this channel.
Okay, so yeah, sex is great.
Yeah.
And I love it. And you know, I do it well, right? And
Go ahead, man.
I've been a slut, you know, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Me too, bro. I've been a straight whore at periods of my life, man.
Right. And
clean. I think I was just telling you that before we started this. My first year and a half clean, I was a fucking whore, bro. Just whoring. It was ridiculous. And listen, I keep it real, man. It ain't like I'm a 10, bro. I'm like a 6, maybe a 7 on a good day.
You're a 7.5.
All right, cool. I'll take it. But you know what I mean? What I'm saying is, dude, I got game. Let's go. I can sing a little bit. You know, man, hey, whatever it took to get that ass. And like, dude, I used to go in meetings. Dude, I was foul when I first got clean. And Sharon, I would go in meetings and be like, I don't know about the rest of you, but I didn't stay clean today on spiritual principles. I stayed clean on pussy today. I used to say that in meetings. Because, like, I wasn't using drugs, but I was using that. And it was keeping me occupied. You know what I mean?
Right.
So go ahead.
So yeah, I did, right? And whatever took me out of myself, even like clean, because like, you know, I thought that was my answer, right? And like I've tried relationships, right? And I'm a big lover, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
you love to be in love.
I got to a point where like I felt a lot of times like in my relationships, I was being played or being the one that was looking stupid. So I reversed the tables.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, as long as I'm the one that does the hurting.
Because you were already hurt.
I was hurt.
How's it go? Hurt people.
Absolutely.
You know, stands true. You know what I mean? So, all I know is it's, dude, for me, a whole 12-step recovery program and going through the steps with a sponsor and getting that internal work. And I think the end game for me is love. Proper. Like, to give and receive love properly. Like, to me, that's what it's all about. That's what this whole thing is, what I'm trying to learn in myself. And that goes beyond just a female. That goes beyond my relationship with you, like with my friends, with my coworkers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But most importantly, to fall in love with myself. Because I believe that if you can, and I don't mean fall in love with yourself where you're looking at the mirror like, you're so fucking hot. You know what I mean? I'm talking about feel good to where you don't need that validation.
Right.
And I think the more we fall in love with ourselves, love ourselves, the less bullshit we take, the less negative we're willing to take, and we just want positive in our lives. So if anything or anyone is negative in our life, we can fucking cut it, because we don't feel the need to fucking grasp on the things that aren't worthy of love. Feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm there yet, because I'm probably not. But I mean, I've gotten better. You know what I mean? But I think ultimately that's the fucking goal, man. You know what I mean? To just be a good fucking human being who cares about what happens to themselves. And that entails who I have around me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, dude? So, take us back to the day before your last use. I know it's a little bit ago. So 8.5 years ago, the day before your last use, what's happening that day? What's going through your mind? What's going on? Do you remember?
Okay, this is actually a good story, guys.
All right, let's go.
So like, it was actually April Fool's, because I got clean on the 2nd, right? Mm-hmm. And like my PO, you know, all right. So the day before, right? The day before April 1st, right? I went to court and I signed the papers to get my kids back from children and youth, right? So I was happy, I made it, I did it, so I celebrated, right? And 7:30, April 1st, I get on the door, right? It was my PO, and he wanted to give me a random drug test.
Damn.
Random drug test.
In the middle of your celebrating.
Oh, I was, and me, I just woke up. It was 7:30 in the morning. I was half asleep, and I didn't know whether I wanted to run out the door, mm-hmm. or, you know, shut the door in his face, like. So I let him in, and I told him, I said, listen, you don't even gotta waste that cup, because I know it's gonna be hot, right?
Right.
So like, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm fucking sweating bullets, I'm at the table, he's talking to me, he's like, you know, you just did this, and you got this far, you were supposed to get your kids back, and now it's fucked up, right? So like, I'm sitting there trying to explain myself, right? And so I put my phone next to me like this, and my PO is like, can I go through your phone? And I actually got up from the table, and I'm like, what do you need to go through my phone for? And I was looking at the door ready to run, right? So like I said, you want to go through my phone? Fine. Because he was ready to call the cops and have me fucking arrested, right?
Right.
So he goes to my phone, and he finds some incriminating evidence. I was trying to get clean, and I was trying to off some of the narcotics that I had, and it was all on text message, and he immediately called the police, right? So the cops were at my door within 2 minutes, right? And he's on the phone with a supervisor. They got me in handcuffs, right? And I hear my PO going over the text messages with his supervisor. and I'm sweating bullets. Like I just got over a violation. I just got my kids back.
Right.
Like I was on the
You were
right
at
track.
the finish
I thought
line. You were at the
yes.
finish line.
Yes.
But that's how we do. That's my whole life up till like I got clean this time. It's like, let's put this 5,000 piece puzzle together. And when I get to the last piece, like, and I go down to put it in, I just fucking go, and I fuck the whole puzzle up.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's so crazy. It's definitely a fucked up brain going on up here, bro.
Yeah.
So he's on the phone with his supervisor. What's going on? What happens?
So that's where I knew I had a chance, because he hung the phone up, put it down, and he told the cops to take the handcuffs off me. He said his supervisor told him that a text message is not evidence.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I don't know if he can even get that evidence like that anyway.
So
I think you need a warrant to take somebody's phone, first of all.
Right.
Yeah.
So he told the cop to leave, right? And he's like, I'm going to put you in for a violation for the drug test. I had 90 days to get my shit together, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next day, I was like, I can't live like this no more.
Yeah.
So like April 2nd, like I did what I had to do, right? And I toughened up, and I got through 30 days.
Did you go to rehab?
No rehab.
Oh, you just went straight up at home?
I fucking straight up muscle fucked it until I felt better.
No shit. Man, that's
Right.
a rough fucking way to go, man.
Right.
It's a rough way to do it, man.
But like, you know, I feel 100 times better than I did.
Right.
But I'll never forget that day.
Right.
You can't. How can you forget? It's April Fool's, and you
can't. Yeah, you can't. And you know what? That's a good thing that you'll never forget that day. Always fucking. You don't have to live in that day. But
Right.
remember that motherfucking day. So, real quick. So, you hit a meeting? Like right around then? Let me ask you this. Because you've probably been in meetings before that, right? I'm guessing?
Yes.
Somewhere. Let me ask, so the first meeting you go to, do you remember that at all? Did you, put it this way, when you went in, did you think like, this is for me? Or did you think like, these fucking people are fucking nutty? I mean, do you remember anything? Or was there a seed planted?
The first meeting I went for me
Yeah, for you, yeah.
was court ordered.
Okay.
When
See, it was just, I'm just doing it just because.
I knew all about NA.
Right.
You know, I was the little kid running around the meetings. You know,
Right.
I knew a lot about, like, you know, the shit that was going on, right? And I knew it worked, right? But like, I still wanted to take I wanted my will, and I wanted to do everything that I wanted to do because I'm selfish.
Right.
Very selfish, right?
So the first meeting is, fuck this place, I'm just here because
I know. Is it almost over yet?
Yeah,
Like,
it's almost over yet. What the fuck is this dude talking about? You know what I mean? But I say there's still seed planted. You know, we don't even fucking know it probably, but it's still. I mean, you knew it worked. See,
Right.
you were kind of lucky because your dad was, like you said, you're the kid running around, and you probably you've seen it transform your dad. Right? So, but there's a lot of people that don't get to see that. And I think, dude, it's desperation, right? It comes down to the level of desperation. So finally you get to, you're about to lose your kids after you just got them back. You're about to go to jail, whatever it is. You got crazy desperation at that point, which is what made you stop using, right?
Right.
That's what made you stop. The program is what made you stay stopped.
Right.
You know, because I think we can get that fucked up sometimes. Because like my program didn't get me clean, bro. It keeps me clean. Like
True.
I came here already clean. You know, I went through the rehab like most of us do. So by the time I got here, you know, I didn't even have a drug problem anymore. I was fucking, I mean, it was like, you know, 30, 40 days in. You know, I spent like almost 2 months in a fucking detox rehab thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. So my program didn't get me clean. It just keeps me clean. And without it, I would use. There's no question. I've been through it. I know what it's like to be clean for a long time around here in a program and walk away from it, and eventually we fucking use. It's fucking crazy. It could take a month, 5 months, a fucking year, but it's like eventually it fucking gets us, bro. It's a weird thing. So you come in, I've seen you come around the meetings. You've been clean longer than me, a couple of years now. I'm around a little over 6 years. All right. So you've done some step work, right? Talk about the disease of addiction. Like what does that mean to you? Like if I say, yo, Joe, that dude over's got the disease of addiction. What does that mean to you?
It means that they're in the grip, right? And they can't live without it. The only thing that they love is that. And it's crazy because, like, you know, you feel for them because us being addicts, we can't forget where we came from.
Right.
I know what it's like to be an addict, and I know what it's like to lie, cheat, and steal to get the next one, right? And I know what it's like to go through that pain of withdrawal, go through that, like, you know, fear of not having anything, fear of not being okay with yourself, right? Like it's tough. And if you're an addict, you just know you have that sympathy for the next addict, right?
Yeah. It's like it gets described usually as the disease of more, just more.
Right.
And then, you know, on the flip side of that, you got you're talking about people actively using. Then you got the flip side of that. Once you get clean and you put the drug down, and then you pick up things like fantasy, gambling, food, fucked up relationships, whatever it is, right? We still find ways to put ourselves in fucking pain. I know I have. Clean, dude. That whole, when I was talking about that whore thing, when I was going to meetings saying the word pussy and all that, vulgar as fuck, bro. Dude, without drugs, being in my apartment, balled up like a little bitch, like, my life is fucking sucks. And I was clean, feeling like empty as fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's real. Like our literature says, you know, living life, we're incapable of living life with or without drugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's some real shit. Because you got to get fucking right with yourself. Dude, on some real shit, like, yo, you can stay clean just coming to meetings and hanging with people who aren't using. But you'll just be like a clean dickhead. Like without any kind of internal work happening. You know, you're just clean, dude. And and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, man, at the end of the day, man, if you could just stay fucking clean, I mean, dude, seriously, I mean, that's a fucking big deal.
Right.
But when you're just clean and not doing any internal work, you're not going in and doing a fucking moral inventory of yourself. You're not looking at character defects. You're not trying to get shortcomings removed. You're not fucking making amends to all this shit, that comes along with this process. When you're not doing that, you're not growing. You know what I mean? You just become the dude you were before you used. And that guy used.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just like to break that type of shit down to people, because this channel's geared towards people who are looking to get clean, you know, who are struggling. Like I try to gear it towards that. But then there's people that are in recovery that watch this, and you know, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. And if they don't yet, they better keep going. Like you just keep working, and you'll understand exactly. Right. Keep doing what you're doing. And you will understand what the fuck I'm saying, that's for sure. So, let me ask you this, dude. Do you think there's a cure for the disease of addiction?
No.
Why is that?
Because the addiction is alive and well. And it just manifests itself in other places, like shopping.
Come on, talk about it, dude.
Right? You know, definitely working. because I could work 70 hours a week and still want more money.
Working. Right? You ever get into gambling? You ever do any of that?
See, I've
had my spouts with that, bro. My spurts, whatever the fuck that word is. Yeah, man.
I gamble my life before I gamble my money, because I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew, and like I love saving money, right? And I love spending it on me, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I buy myself a little gift here and there, shirt, like shoes, a motorcycle.
I like that though. I'd risk my life before I risk my money. All right, hey, it is what it is. I got a bunch of shit going on. Food, I can't stop eating fucking food. Like, I eat food for no fucking reason. I mean, there's all kinds of shit, dude. And it's just like I just try to do a little bit better every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I know I'll never be perfect, but it's like I should at least try to be.
Right.
I know I'll never reach the goal, but I think trying to be is probably better than actually being perfect. Because if you became perfect, who the fuck's gonna want to talk to you? Who would want to hang around with a perfect motherfucker?
Right.
I know I wouldn't. You know what I mean? You would have no friends if you're perfect. It would make no sense. So I don't think there's a cure either.
No.
You know,
There'll never be.
And nowadays, bro, it's running rampant. And I say it a lot. I say it often because it is one of the main reasons I started this channel, is because the amount of fucking deaths every year now, dude, from overdoses is insane.
I lost a lot of people.
Dude.
A lot of people.
Dude, it was like 100, because I go on the websites, like the CDC and all this shit. I try to do research for this channel. Dude, the last number I seen was like 113,000 between 2022 and 2023. That's a crazy amount of people, dude. They're estimating it'll be about 25 to 30,000 more this year.
Right.
Dude, I went down. You get a chance when you check out the channel. I don't know if when you do it. I went down and fucking shot a video in North Philly a couple weeks ago. Right at K&A, walking. I wanted to get on the ground, bro. I want to, you know, let's show people this is the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And like, dude, I'll see it on the news and shit like that, but dude, it does it no justice when you're walking amongst those motherfuckers. And guess what? When I say those, I mean they are me and I am them. Believe that.
Much.
Believe that. I was one of those motherfucking people. Dip the fuck out of North Philadelphia. But dude, it does it no justice as a city. When you're there in it and you could smell the smell, hear the sounds, it's fucking crazy. These motherfuckers are missing parts of their arms and shit. They're just shooting up right out in the open. I got footage. I'm just walking by the dude. Like, and he's just banging. And guess what? There's fucking cops standing 15 feet from him, dude. They don't even care.
It's zombie land out there.
Dude, it's nutty.
7:30 in the morning, I was doing a call out that way, and I had to drive down Frankfurt, and it was literally party time for them. It had, and
dude, is it crazy? It's just open market.
Right.
You can go buy whatever the fuck you want with like little police resistance.
It's out in the open, and it's crazy.
Dude, it's crazy. You know, I walked by these cops when I was doing that video, and I'll wrap that story up real fast. But I wanted to just interview the cops and just be like, hey, I just want to know what your briefing was this morning before you just rolled out. Hey, go watch those people die. Just don't let anybody get shot. I mean, like, what the fuck are you doing here? I don't even know what they could do.
I think they just call the ambulance for whenever.
No, I mean, like, what could they do to even eradicate that issue? Like, it's so out of hand. Short of them stripping them of their rights as humans and just fucking putting them on buses.
Right.
Throwing them in a place, lock them in there for fucking 3 months until they get off the drugs, just to give them clarity.
Right.
And then say, okay, now you decide what you want to do. We'll give you this opportunity, or you can go back to where you were.
Right.
Short of doing something like that, I mean, what the fuck could you do? I don't even know what you could do. You have people suing the fuck out of the city and all that shit if they did that. You can't even do it. They'd have to claim some kind of state of emergency or some fucking shit down there. So, all right. So if somebody's watching this right now, right? Well, before I say that, tell me, how is life today? Like, for real. Like, how's life today, man? You're 8.5 years clean, you know, you're in a fucking program.
It could be better, right? Like, I recently had my life turned upside down, right? And I'm still trying to pick up the pieces of that. And, you know, I'm living 1 minute at a time because I don't know where I belong in this world, right? Because I lost my son a little under a year ago. September will be 12 months.
You got my condolences, man. You already know that, though.
Yeah, right? And it's been one hell of a ride since he was gone, right? And even before that, he was going through chemo. He died from cancer. And like, I will never be right again, right? Mm-hmm. I will forever have a hole in my heart that's not going to go nowhere, right? And I got to figure out, like, where I am in life, what I want to be, what I want to do. Like, I'm staying with my dad, right? And I'm trying to pick up the pieces, right? And I've broken some hearts, right? Because, like, I left a relationship that I was in because of the cancer, and it tore the family up, right? And I jumped in another one, and then I took my will back, and I started being an asshole again, because, like, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know if I wanted a relationship. I didn't know if I wanted, you know, my family back. I didn't know if I wanted to be a whore. I just didn't know, and I still don't know. Like, I'm still trying to pick up the pieces, right? I did neglect my step work, right? And today, I just want to be a better person for me. Mm-hmm. I want to love myself, right? Because, like, I don't. I'm an asshole. I'm a piece of shit, right? And, you know, but I'm trying.
Dude, you know, at least today we can be aware of our behaviors and actions. Because Absolutely. You can't do anything about anything unless you're aware of it.
Right.
Let me tell you something. You know how many motherfuckers walk around this world ignorant as fuck to the fact that they're a fucking asshole, or they treat people this way, or they do this, right? And it's weird, because I don't personally think you are an asshole. I don't. Every interaction we have is cool, but that doesn't matter what I think. It's what we know when we look at ourselves in the mirror, right? So whatever you're saying, that's for you. But I just want to put this out there that, dude, what you just gone through recently, losing a kid like that, is fucking horrible, right? I mean, it's only something like a person like me could say, I can only imagine, because that's all I can do. That's all I can do is just imagine. But here's the thing, dude. You are a fucking beacon of hope for any fucking recovering addict, and don't get it fucked up. Because the fact that you're still clean, and the fact that you still come to this fucking program, you still engage in your program, is probably why you're still clean. Right. I would imagine. But just understand that, like, you know, we were just talking about it earlier, man. Everybody isn't perfect, man. But you're aware of where you're at today, right? And I thank you for keeping it fucking real. And it's hard to say this too shall pass when it comes to things like losing a child, you know? And I don't really want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Because, like, I believe the more you engage in this process, you get back into that step work, you do that type of shit, and I think it will pass. At least the part where you don't know where you're at and how to pick up the pieces, I think you'll get to the part where you could put something together to where you can go on. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I just want you to know, dude, I think you're a fucking beacon of hope, bro. Because people use the most whacked shit. Oh, I hear it all the time. I run sober houses. I see people use it. It's like, oh, well, my girlfriend broke up with me. You know, whatever it is. I lost my job. You know what I mean? But you show me that, yo, as long as you keep coming, even going through something like that, like you can get through it, man. And I don't know. You have anything else you want to say, man?
Yeah, man. Like, you can have a bad year, a bad day, even a bad 20 minutes, right? But it's up to you to focus on the positive and like make it through that and come out on top. Tomorrow is always a new day, right?
Yes.
Just because something bad happened to you doesn't mean it defines you for who you are as a person.
Right.
Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and be a better person tomorrow.
It's well said. You know, usually I tell people look in the camera and say something to somebody that's struggling out there, but what you just said is exactly what I probably wanted you to fucking say anyway. But I just want to add to that, man. Dude, if you're fucking struggling right now, you're thinking about getting clean, make a fucking phone call. Do what my man did here. Lock yourself in the motherfucking house and just go cold turkey, which is crazy to me, but he fucking did it. But I'm just saying, make that fucking call. Go to rehab. That joint you keep saying, I'll go to rehab tomorrow. Like, do it today, man.
Do what you gotta do.
Like, do it today. Because, like, there's a pretty fucking good life waiting for you.
There is.
Right?
It gets easier.
Yeah, man.
And then it gets harder. And then it gets easier again.
And like you just heard, like, dude, you got 8.5. Dude, I got 6.5, bro. I've been through some fucking struggles clean. Nothing like that. But still, people's pain are their pain. My pain's my pain. Your pain's your pain. It's still struggle. Everything ain't all fucking peaches and cream just because you get clean.
Right.
But the point is, you grow through these situations. Within pain, we find growth. It's that fucking simple. But you gotta be engaged in the process for that to happen. All right, so listen, man. We're gonna end this. I end with this stupid thing I do. It's called the fast ass 5.
Fast ass 5.
10, but 5. It's just 5 stupid random questions.
5.
I'm gonna shoot them at you. Ready? Summer or winter?
Summer.
Going summer. Vegetables or candy?
Vegetables.
Horror movie or comedy?
Comedy all day.
Of course, yeah. You're at the barbecue, dude. You going all beef hot dog or hamburger?
Hot dogs.
Yes, dude. I'm 2 for 2, dude. This is amazing. I did 15. I just had the Sky I interviewed. She was the first person out of 15 that said hot dog. And then I just got 2 in a row. Hot dogs are the best, dude. Come on. My thing on that is, I'm going to go on my fucking hot dog rant again because, you know. Anyway, my thing about a fucking, especially like a beef hot dog, it doesn't need anything. You can just put that motherfucker on a roll and go in. A hamburger, you need shit. You need like the ketchup. You need fucking, whatever it is, cheese. You need shit to make it taste good, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But anyway.
Relish and ketchup.
Yes. Last question. Would you rather be brutally honest or lie when you have to?
Well, that's a tough one because I always thought it was lie if you have to, but like today I choose to be brutally honest.
All right. All right, cool, man. All right, let me get a pen. We're going to wrap this shit up, man. I appreciate you doing this, man.
Absolutely.
It's a fucking great thing, man. So I'm going to end with this, what I usually always end with. Just remember this. The disease of addiction, it's broad and outside of the realm of just using drugs. Keep coming back. More will be revealed. We're out of here.